Green, thank you very much. Admiral, thank you. One question on Ukraine funding and one on Israel, if you would. On Ukraine funding, the President has stated publicly many times, as have a number of his aides, you included, that you're all confident that the President will be able to persuade the United States Congress to renew funding for the Ukraine armed forces. Today he held that video call with the leaders of the G7, and it's manifestly clear that he's not necessarily going to be able to deliver on that promise. And yet for the better part of a year, or more than a year, he's been telling those same G7 leaders, in essence, I've got this. I will get that funding out of the United States Congress. Today, he cannot make that promise to this same group of leaders. Is that a source of some embarrassment for him and for the United States?
No, I disagree that it's not manifestly clear, James. I'm not sure where you're getting that phrase. The President remains confident that support to Ukraine is important for our national security interests. He remains confident that he's going to continue to work with members of Congress to get this done. He said so himself in those comments. And he's confident, oh, by the way, that there's still strong bipartisan and bicameral support for Ukraine up on Capitol Hill. We got a small number of Republicans that are pushing back on that. The President's not going to give up on this.
You've also got a small window now.
Well, the window's definitely getting smaller. I've been saying that for weeks now. The runway's getting shorter and shorter, and we've got basically to the end of this month.
On Israel, does President Biden regard Prime Minister Netanyahu as a capable or even a great military leader?
The President respects the position that Prime Minister Netanyahu is in. This is a man he's known for many, many years. They don't agree on everything, but he is the elected Prime Minister of our good friend, ally, and partner in Israel. And we're going to continue to work with him to make sure that he knows the United States will continue to have their back as well as they fight Hamas.
But he believes that Mr. Netanyahu knows what he's doing right now as a military?
James, I'm not going to play this game, and we're not going to get into characterizing foreign leaders here from this podium. He's the elected leader of Israel. The President has respect for him. He understands the challenges that the Prime Minister is going through right now. And we have done everything we can and will continue to do it, not just in terms of weapons and capabilities, but advice and counsel and perspective and lessons learned from our own experience in this kind of warfare.
But presumably the President would not preside over the provision of all of this money and intelligence and weaponry and strategic counsel to Mr. Netanyahu if Mr. Biden felt that Mr. Netanyahu did not know what he was doing with it all.
He feels that Israel has every right and responsibility to defend itself against a truly genocidal threat represented by Hamas, a threat that was on display for the whole world to see in sickening ways on the 7th of October. He's coming at this from years and years of support and experience with Israel, and leaders of all sizes and stripes coming from Israel. That's where this is coming from, a true love and respect for Israel as a nation and the Israeli people and the right for themselves to be able to live in peace and security. Thanks.
Thanks, Admiral.